Good morning, guys. Okay, so we will discuss the assignment. 2, 3 assignments are good. Okay, so rest all very ridiculous. Okay, the assignments are definitely not up to the. So one such assignment. I don't know, most of you guys, what you guys listen to the class, I don't understand. It was very boring. After a while, I don't feel like checking at all. Back to back, whenever I'm trying to open all the assignment, at least I'm trying to find good assignments. Every assignments back to back, I just really felt very boring to even check. Okay, so one assignment from Soumya, it is good. Okay, so this one assignment, one or two assignments are very good, but rest all, I don't know what to even say. Okay, so this assignment is good, and only problem is with the alignment. Okay, so alignment has to be little more neat and too much information. So just give what the important information and make alignment really good. And alignment has to be good. Okay, so here what my expectation was, you guys have to understand the headers. Okay, repeatedly I was telling you guys to understand the headers. So this is unit cost and line total. If they had given wrong name, we have to change it to total sales. Okay, that is our job, right? So what else could be our job? Is it like they will give like a piece of cake and we eat it nicely? It's not like that, right? That is not data analysis. So when you are a data analyst, then you have to see each and everything very carefully. So the most important part, I was keep telling you guys that it's the headers. So you have to see the headers again and again. So first, okay, this is unit. Because why I was insisting you guys, because everything that is what it's going to reflect here in your presentation. So if you are telling them sum of line total, how they will understand what is line total? Okay, you will understand what is line total, but how you will expect your manager or your other stakeholders will understand what is line total? Okay, so it is our job that we have to change everything. So here it's good that he has calculated total cost per order. This is not per order, this is per order, unit cost. So this is total unit cost. Again, the data engineers would give you wrong information, which means like wrong.
Vandana, sorry to
Vandana,
interrupt. I'm not able to see your
exactly.
screen.
Exactly.
Oh,
Your screen is
fine,
not
fine.
showing.
Okay. Okay, so this was the assignment I was talking about. And see, this is Soumya Ranjan's assignment. So everything was good, but the alignment is a little bit not up to the mark. So it has to align neatly. And the one which I was talking about here is that the headers. So headers right here, it's a unit price and line total. So it is our job that we have to change it to total sales, even though you get the wrong with the wrong name. It is our job to change it. And this is not total unit cost, it's just a unit cost. Like unit price, it's a unit cost. And you have to calculate unit cost, which he did. That is good. And one more thing, nobody, I think none of you guys have calculated profit. Why? Is profit is not an important the column to explain, or in order to, I don't see what is it.
Vandana, I have calculated profit in the last two dashboards. Can you check?
Okay. Oh, you calculated in the pivot table,
Yeah.
via pivot table
Yes, yes, yes.
calculated field. Okay, okay. So too
I
much
mean,
of
year
information
wise.
is okay. So it's like the alignment, everything is you just have to arrange neatly so that I we can. Okay, here total profit.
Yeah, one with year quarter to year wise, another one with only like this one is the related to per year, like each year how much is the profit, and this
Okay.
one is per quarter to each year.
Okay, so that is fine. So yeah, okay, I can see it. Here. The problem is like I cannot click and check. For me, it will not work. The other ones, so fine. The profit is calculated here. It's good, but here this legend, right? Very important. Sum of order quantity. We have to change the legend, and it's fine. This is one such good assignment that except the alignment. Otherwise, it is good. Rest all, I don't know what to even say. Okay, the whatever we've talked in the class, nothing was reflecting. Why? See, in the what did I even say? Pie chart. The most important thing for the pie chart is data labels. Okay, what is the point of attending 2 hours, 3 hour class, guys? Like if you don't get that important thing, whatever I'm telling, what is the point then? How will you do the same thing with Power BI? How will you work with Power BI? Power BI is even more difficult. If you can't get the things right in the simplest tool that is provided, what is how will you do the same thing with Power BI? So here this is not calculated. Nothing is calculated. Okay, this is Ayushman assignment. So I felt this is good. Okay, the only problem here is that you don't need to add an extra x-axis, but fine, it's okay. So again, only 4 visual. So whatever he did, it's okay. It's looking good. So I don't find any issue except here he could have changed it as total sales. Otherwise, fine. It's I don't see any mistake. Although could have improved. This assignment is somewhat, it is try to do whatever we had discussed in the class except 2 3 issues here. This part, okay, this is not up to, like we can't find any insights. Okay, here in this graph we can't find any insights at all. Okay, when you see here, how you will find any, like we can't even understand, right? So do not do such graphs. When you yourself don't understand, then don't present it. The ones which you can understand and explain. When somebody is asking you what is this in city, but how you will differentiate between the categories, so we can't explain, so leave that part. Don't do it. And state wise analysis, I've already told many times that in pie chart you can't put a design like this. We are not working for a tile company to produce some beautiful tiles. Okay, we are working as a data analyst. You have to explain your data. What you will explain? And here also, when you try to compare two different measurements, sum of line total, it's a big amount. And sum of total unit cost is a small amount. So you cannot compare it like this. We have to take something like your combo chart. And this one assignment. This is the dashboard. Okay, this is the dashboard that I received. And dashboard is done with the population data. So sum of unit cost, this is fine, but don't see much, the what is there to check here. So whatever it did, it's fine, but could have improved. Okay, this is also fine. I find it good. Okay, see, that's what I don't need any fancy things. Whatever you're trying to present, it has to be correct. Okay, this could have improved more, but whatever they have done, it's correct. So I don't see any mistake in this. So this is fine. And one more thing, I just don't understand what is the use of adding product description here like a numbers. When we already attached everything and you already have all the information, product name and category, and in spite of that you are adding product description index in your slicer. I don't really understand what is the thought process behind it. How one will understand if I click what is product number 10? If I click product number 10, what you will explain? Okay, since it's supposed to be some category. So okay, when you're trying to show a Texas monthly sales, it's fine. But how will you justify that I'm going to show product number 10? We know what is product number 10. Product name is there, category name is there, country name is there. And then you adding the index like this, product region index. We already know what is the, it is there in the graph itself. And this one, don't even know what is this. And one more assignment. And this is okay. This is fine, but the only problem here, too many categories. Otherwise, it's okay. So none of you guys have concentrated on the headers I was telling. Okay, so header part has to be corrected. Only one or two people really concentrated the whole assignment and did very well. Otherwise, rest all, this is fine, but the alignment could have been better. Okay, actually, I don't find any mistake. Yeah, it is there. Mistake is there. Sum of unit price. We talked like an LKG students. I have explained the concept. Okay, like how to explain for a KG students. I've explained like how, why should we not do sum of unit price. Okay, in spite of that, many people did sum of unit price. Yeah, this is good. This is good. No, it's not good. Sum of unit cost. So basic understanding is completely lacking. So if I don't have class on Sunday, then people who have not performed well, okay, please do attend one more. I'll try to ask the guys like to keep this pivot table class one more time. Dashboard is a very important skill one has to possess when you're becoming a data analyst. Okay, so I'll try to keep one more class because maybe if I have not explained it clearly or I don't know what is, because I've never seen a batch like this. So it's, I don't know, even I myself got confused whether I did not explain it correctly or not. So I will ask the guys to keep at least 1 or 1.5 hours the class extra for this pivot table. I think you guys will not have class next is after finishing VBA. Next is Sunday. You might not have one class, but at the time we will have one special class. Okay, so now take your Excel. Okay, so yesterday little quick we were recording the macro. Okay, so when we were recording, so one important thing is that you don't need to even record now. I know recording takes little uh, what to say, just we have to record it properly, and you don't need to even record today. Only one thing we have to remember. Okay, when you want to point out a cell, okay, we have to name it like range A1, which means you're calling this cell. Okay, whatever program you are trying to run, it will run only at A1. If you want to do a generic ones, like you don't need to name anything, but a generic macro, like a formula, anywhere you keep, it will work. We will call it like active cell. Okay, so today we will write code, okay, and then we will understand better about this range and active cell. So please open your Excel. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention this part. Then go into Visual Basic. You will not have module. Okay, we have to code inside the module only. So do not code anywhere here or here. Okay, these are just to write notes. Insert your module only, inside the module only we should code. Okay, ready? So how to write your code? So first we have to, this is like a keyword. Any program, we start with sub and give a macro name. Okay, yesterday we gave title 1, title 2, remember? Similarly, we will give a project name, macro name. Let's say macro number 1 without any space, without any special characters. Just give simple name. Macro 1 is your name of your macro. Just give open and close bracket, enter. Okay, so in between the space, right, we have to write here in the between. So yesterday you might have noticed there is one green color line. Okay, that like you write, you add this top code and write the note. This is not the code. This is like a comment. For example, if you are mentioning this macro has to be run by finance team, okay, some notes. Okay, this is not a macro, not a code. So you just have to add the top code, then write your notes. Okay, and after that, whatever you write, then that will be your code. Okay, any mistake, you just have to do debug. When you are running any mistake, you have to give debug. Okay, so that we will see later. So let's start. So let's say I want to print something at A1. Okay, so I want to do like, say for example, I want to print my character like this. Print my print there. Okay, so how to call the cell range A1? So range, don't need, it's not case sensitive at all. So you just write, okay? Don't use capital letter, nothing. You don't need to do anything. Just simply write. But when you're writing, just be little careful, like don't leave unnecessary spaces. So range, open bracket, and calling the cell with the string character, that is double quote, A1, okay? Close it and then close the bracket. Okay, so you are mentioning range A1 dot, its value should be equal to print. Okay, it's a simple line of code. Let me delete this one line. Okay, you have to run it from here only. Okay, so there is a run button. So run here, see print. Okay, now second macro. Macro number 2. This is for active cell. Okay, so the similar code, but I'm writing with active cell dot value. Okay, its value should be equal to print. Okay, so let's see how this will perform. So anywhere you keep your cursor, this one will give the print statement. Okay, so that is the difference between your active cell and your range. So, but this one, when you run, it will automatically print only a table.
Vandana, like for commenting, is what is that tag?
What is the
I mean, what
this?
do you have? Like,
You just have to write with what we call this as top quote. There is a double quote, right? One single quote,
yeah,
and then you just have to write inside. Enter.
got it. Thank you.
Hello,
Yes.
ma'am. I skipped that run part.
Run here. This one.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so listen one, when you want to run it in the coding screen, you have to here use this one. But outside, this is my macro. Okay, view macros, all the macros that you've created. So view macros, this is macro number 2 and run it. Okay, this is one place where you can run your macros. If you have shortcut key, then you can use your shortcut key, but often we can't use shortcut key. So you just come here and run your macros. Okay, two places, Visual Basic and then the list of macro.
Ma'am, from where we'll get
What is it? Come again.
ma'am, from where we'll get the list of macros?
This one. Close this and from here.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So let's do one thing. So let's say for an example, A1 is having number 1. Okay. So you have to write your macro. So when you run your macro, this number 1 should become number 2. Okay, so you just have to add +1. Then again, when you run, this 2 should become 3. Okay, you're getting the question right. So let's see if you can develop the idea. So when I run my macro, the number 1 should become number 2. So sub +1. Let's let's see. I will give one side range A1 dot value equals to. So this side you guys try to fill it. Okay, so when I run the macro, this value should become +1. Just any idea how to write?
Can you repeat the question again? Like,
So when I run the macro, so we already have one. Okay, so but when I run it, it should add +1 to A1. So range A1 dot value equals to what?
Ma'am, A1 plus 1.
Yeah, range A1 dot value plus 1. So, if you tell fully, then it would be range A1, because at A1, I have to affect this code. A1 dot value, okay, because you have to take that value, then do a plus 1. Okay, now let's try. See, it will keep on increasing. So same goes with the active cell. Okay, so this is how we have to use your range and active cell. So we will slowly develop into a project. At the time, we will understand where supposed to use range and where we have to use active cell. Okay, so let's learn one more thing, that is message box. Let's say you want to give a pop-up, like like for example, you are developing one billing system for McDonald's. So when you try to press something, then you might get a pop-up of your bill or something. Okay, sub, because macro is widely used in such kind of applications like billing system and the consumer applications, so something like that. Very simple one, not very complicated ones, but very simple application. So let's say message box. So the message box, hello. So message box means just giving pop-up, that's it. Okay, so your message will be here. Okay, if you are unable to write the code, do not just keep moving forward. Okay, so do not attempt to write the code. Like, you do not attempt to finish it, because you may miss what I'm teaching. Okay, at the moment. Okay, so if you miss, for example, if you are not unable to write this code, leave it and then start writing. Try to follow along, because I know it's like when you're writing for first time, it will be writing a little slow. Okay, so now we will introduce the concept of variables. Okay, so the variable concept, you will again learn this in Python as well, but now we will try to understand. Okay, so we'll start. So when I say variable, so it has like imagine the headers. Okay, so as we already talked about, variable is something like a header. So let's say name. Name will take several names. Okay, variable is like your name can take many names. Okay, so let's say salary. Salary is not just one, so it can take many salaries, right? So similarly here also we are going to give some variable called x. As of now x is fixed, but you can again, you can create something like, x will take many values, we'll see that. But for now let's say x is fixed, x has 5 and y equals to 4. Okay, for now we are fixed, but not necessarily every time x is 5. Okay, we can create a program where x will take whatever the customer is inputting. Like x equal to, let's say you want to buy 2 products, and y equals to, let's say you want to buy 3 products of something else. So x is not always constant, but for now it is constant. Okay, this x and y are variables. Okay, so when you are introducing variables, so these are something not inbuilt for the system. X and Y are something you are giving. Okay, you need to declare to the system that my X and Y basically are integer. It's just the code word dim dimension. You're just mentioning the system that my x and y always to be an integer. I don't want any other value, like x should not be a name. X is supposed to be always a number. So you're just telling the system. Okay, there is a little bit elaborate thing. I will explain this in detail. But for now, x equals to integer, y is also an integer. So I'm going to do z equals to x plus y. Okay, now what is z? What is the data type for z?
Should be integer as well.
Yeah, it should be an integer as well, because integer plus integer is an integer only. It's a number. So you can declare whenever you find any new variables, always try to declare it. I will also tell you why we have to declare. Without declaration also it will work, but I will let you know why we have to declare. For now, you are telling system that x, y, z all are numbers and z equals to x plus y. So now your job, okay, you have to code that x should be printed at A1, y should be printed at B1, and z should be printed at C1. And d should be z half of your z. Okay, fine, try it. So a should be x, b should be y, c should be z, and d should be z by 2, half of the z. Okay, code and let me know. It's very simple. Whatever I've thought, that only.
Vandana, what is an integer
Integer number.
number?
Number. Okay, so I will write. So integer here means number variables. So once done, then send me this your screenshot in the chat box. Then I'll check. Just think like how to print X at A1. Okay, so if you think in that way, then you can do it.
Under run, there is run sub user form. What is that?
N sub. This one this is the one.
No, in the module under run, there is that F5 key.
Okay.
Run sub / user form.
Where you're talking about?
On the module page,
Okay.
at the top, when you click on run, it
No,
shows
do
that.
not do not click on run. Okay, because there is a step-by-step run, and don't do that right now because that is for the advanced project. You just use this small triangle. This is a run button. Okay, so use this one.
Okay.
Okay, so Soumya, Gopi Krishna, yes. So range A1 dot value equals to X. Okay, so one more thing, when you are writing this X, make sure this X should match. Okay, because so let's say my name is Vanthana, then I have a particular spelling. Every time you have to use the same spelling. Okay, so think in that way. Here one capital letter X and one small letter X, that will not work. Okay, so when you declare something, that has to be called the same thing again and again. Okay, so this part is case sensitive, variable name. Okay, don't give capital letter and small letter. Equals to Y. So Z by 2. Okay, you can do any mathematical calculation, into, minus, subtraction. So let's say for an, yes.
The double quotes are not required.
Here, yes, this double, correct. So this double quotes, it is only for the for a character, for like for example some value that is not known to the system. You already told to the system that x is equal to 5. So it's not something that introducing something new.
New.
If in case for an example you want to declare a equals to, then you have to include the code only for the string, again not for the numbers. Okay, x equal to 7, it's okay. But when you are writing only string values, then only you have to use your double quote. Again, for variable, you don't need a double quote.
Okay. Okay.
For few days, it's just going to be, get to that point. It's, yes, Rakshan. So those were finished. Now let's say I want to pop up this z value. Okay, I want to give a pop-up of the z value. So when I want to give a pop-up, then message box, okay. Either you can open the bracket and write inside, spelling wrong. Or else you can give a space and then write z. Okay, even that is also fine. Did you open and close it, Shri? Because maybe if you try to close it and then if you try to open, then maybe you haven't saved the sheet, right? Just
Actually, I tried to save it, but it has some error, so it got closed. So I tried to open it again. So
no, then see,
okay.
that's what for the other guys also. Please save the file, save as macro enable workbook. Now itself save, because when you lose, right, and when you try to close and open, then the macro will not be there until unless you save it like this. So save in this format, then close it and open again. So for now it's fine, you just add one more time a module. Okay, got the idea? So let's deal with string values now. Okay, which means like, let's say I want to create some headers. So here name, age, salary. I want to print these characters into my A1, B1 and C1. Now these are not numbers, these are string values.
Vandana, my numbers didn't change in the Excel sheet for the integer.
Which one? This Z value?
Yes.
Z divided by 2 is not working.
None of the values are working in the
You share
Excel
the
sheet.
screen, I didn't understand.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Show me the, yes. So x equals to 5, z equal to x plus 5. Run it one more time. Yeah, it's fine, be right.
Oh, I didn't click on
Okay.
run.
Maybe you didn't run. Okay, fine. No.
Vanthana, it is not giving us, the message box.
Message box. So try to write, Ashish, in your screen itself. Write message box.
We here only.
Yeah, right. Next line. Yeah, the same place. Message box. Open the bracket. You will get those. Yeah. So just write Z inside and close the bracket. So now run this.
Okay.
Okay.
It is giving me the compile error actually.
Okay. So fine. Share the screen. Share your screen.
Okay.
It is saying Microsoft Excel okay.
Yeah, that's what this is the pop-up which will show the answer. So you're trying to pop up Z, right? What is Z
Yeah.
answer? 9. So it will
9.
just
Okay.
give you the pop-up kind of thing.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
Any other doubt? Okay.
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Okay.
Are you able to see my screen?
No, not yet.
Are you able to see?
No.
Just a minute.
Okay. Variable 1. It's not printing at all. Only the message box is
Yeah.
having an issue.
Yes.
Okay. So delete it and write one more time.
All the codes means
No,
everything.
just the message box.
Okay.
Without message box, if you run, can you just run and show what is? No, without message box,
Okay.
just run the code. Okay. So write your message box. When writing, while writing, don't leave any spaces unless until the system asks. Message box. Open the bracket. No. Some problem here. So when you open the bracket itself, it will show you the prompt.
I think
Close.
Vandana in the top, in the up one, he has mentioned sub message box. If we can make that as one, then it should work below
Okay.
because it
Maybe
is
because you have used the keyword.
yes same keyword here and there, so that's it.
That's yeah. So yeah, one more thing, guys. When you're naming your macro, don't use the same keyword. Okay, so that would be one issue you guys will come up. So delete that one macro fully, sub message box.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So don't use the same name like and end sub also. End sub. Two end sub. Yeah. Now right here. Okay. Don't use the same keyword like for
Yeah,
example
yeah.
you can't use range as your macro name. Okay. Okay, fine.
Thanks.
Okay, for naming and all, be careful. Don't, so that's why I'm adding one there because I don't want to give the same names here. So that's why. Okay, so before seeing this, let's complicate little more. Okay, about this the same project. We will try to use little more user kind of thing. Okay, so up to this part, any doubt? So these are my variables. Variables are integers, and you are printing those integers at A, B, and C. Okay, so let's do the same project in a little different way. Okay, all three are integer. So for X, I said, right, it's not always constant. Okay, so it's, let's say you are getting the X from user. So input box, which means user will now input. Same thing you're gonna see in Python as well. Okay, so same message box, input box, all these concepts are there in Python also. So you're getting the answer or getting the value from user. Input box, enter your value. Okay, so this is a string value. So you're asking a question. So first let me show what this one will look like. So input box, enter your value. See, enter your value. So this is the place where user can enter some value. So why also I'm asking from the user, input box, enter your value. So you guys type, I'll take VBA documentation. So VBA documentation for data types. So why are we declaring integer? So when you declare integer, so it will allocate the right memory. Okay, even without declaration also you can still work. Okay, but whenever the system sees or whenever the system encounter these variable, it will allocate 12 bytes. Okay, as a variant. Okay, so in order to minimize the storage standpoint, because if you're writing some 1,000 line code, it will not allocate the right memory. Okay, so these are all new names. Okay, new names you are introducing to the system. So if you allocate right memory, then it will adjust the memory and will work fast. Okay, so without allocating, if you keep writing, it will, your memory will be increased. So whenever you are using small amount, which means minus 32 to plus 32,000, then use integer. If you're dealing with big number, then allocate long. Okay, like dim x as long. So when you are using string, which means anything, even numbers also, any character up to 2 billion. Okay, but integer will take only numbers. Remember, the string will take any character. Okay, numbers, names, symbols, whatever you want to enter, you can enter. But string, you have to write under double quote, integer, only numbers. Okay, without any double quote. Just remember that one part. Okay, so we are allocating integer. So the customer supposed to enter the number below 32,000. Okay, so because X can hold only up to 32,000. Okay, so I will give 1,000 and Y as 500. As of now, you are not printing anywhere because now storing, only store the value. X is now 1,000, Y is now 500. When somebody else is running the program, now X is 700 and Y is 200. Okay, it changes every time you run the program. So Z equals to X plus Y. So I'm just going to copy the top lines. Okay, maybe when trying to add, Okay. Because if you give more, very bigger value, then Z is increasing. Okay. Z becomes more than 32,000, then you may get error. So just give small number. So 100 plus 100 also should work. Any bigger value is not working.
It is working as string, I guess.
No, but these are numbers only, right? But I have already declared this as an integer. Okay, it will not work as a string. Not like, any other, because I know in Python, when you write this program or when any other language, it will, when you use input box, it will understand it as a string, but not in VBA. Okay, when you declare X, Y, Z, it will consider that as a integer only. But some other problem is there. Okay, let me just, eliminate this and print and see. So let's first try this and then we'll see what is the issue. So I'll just try to give a bigger number, 5,000. Okay, it is printing. The only addition, so C equals to 5,000 plus 5,000, 10,000 only, right? I got it. I got it. Why? Because when we are doing multiplication, division, right, it is showing it as a decimal. So, but I have declared Z as an integer, it is not understanding. Okay. So I got the point. So when you are doing, so you eliminate this line and print, it will work. Because when we are doing division, it is getting decimal. Okay. Decimal supposed to be double. Okay. So declaration of the decimal supposed to be decimal. Okay. Decimal or double. So that's why it's not intake, or I got the point. That's why it's not printing. So go ahead and print without division.
It won't
But
work.
It didn't
uh,
work still.
Vandana, one more thing, like while addition, instead
Okay.
of adding 4 plus say 4 plus 6 as 10, it is showing 46. Here also, if you see, like for your also, it is showing like
Is
that.
okay. So let me check one more time. So 4. Okay. Okay. So then it is taking it as this is taking as a string. So 4 plus 6. It's an integer only. Why? Is it fine now? I've just declared it as a separate one. I think it is fine now. Ideally, I don't know why it is showing like that, but it will not show. It's once you declare this as an integer, it is an integer only. Now try to declare it separately and try. 100 plus 100. 200. Okay, after this, let's go for break. And we will catch up around 11:15. Any other doubt in this part? Let me know if anything is not working.
I'm still getting an error.
Okay, share your screen. Other guys, those who are finished, go for break.
Click on
That is because of the division part. Okay, so because when we divide z divided by 2, it is becoming maybe decimal. But that's why it is not the last part, z divided by 2. That one line alone, if you delete, then it might work. Debug, again overflow. So always try to give a debug, okay, so that we will know exactly which line is an issue. Give a debug. Okay, that z is an issue. Just declare like how I did. So just give dim z as integer separately. Yeah, keep it like that. One more line like, yeah, that's okay. Duplicate declaration. Okay, just give different name. Yeah. Oh, okay, fine. I'm deleted. Just see. Okay.
Yeah.
A to D. Fine. Ideally, I should have worked within the same context, but why it's not working? Why it is working as a differently? Okay, but it is working, but we still have to find the logic why this is not working in the same dim. Okay, fine. Let's go drink water and come. Okay. Let's start. Okay, again, just a quick recap. I know when you're coding for first time, if you're doing it for first time, any coding, I know it's very difficult. Okay, so don't worry if it's not coming for you. So range a1 dot value. Okay, when you're trying to type print here, you are trying to call a1 and its value you're mentioning it as print. And if you want to do anything with, so suppose if there is a value existing at a1, so you want to do anything with that value, then you take the value and do whatever you want. For example, range a1 dot value divided by 2, multiplication by 2, you can take that whatever you want. Okay, so now x equals to 5, y equals to 7. So here you are trying to say constant number. So x is 5, y equals to, and you're trying to print it at a particular place. But here you're trying to use the concept of variability, which means x can be anything. Whatever the user is trying to input, you're trying to print at A, B, and C. That's it. Okay, we will try to use this knowledge and we'll develop further more. Okay, like a real-time project. But for that, we need to know how our cursor, it's like we need to know the cursor movement automatically. So let's say, for example, you have printed one line and you have to print the second line. So you can't keep on telling A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, A3, B. That's not the efficient way of working, right? So let's say you want to print 100 values. You can't keep writing it as A10, A20. You can't do that. So we need to understand the cursor movement. So the cursor has to move automatically. Then we can start developing the projects. Okay, so let's say you have printed here and you will move the cursor automatically down here and then you print again. So something like that we will develop. So for that we need the movement. So first we will try to understand right movement, left, up, and down. Okay, 4 movement of this cursor we need to know. Then we will develop furthermore. Okay, so as we know this dot value. Okay, dot value means you are accessing the value. Now another method, dot offset. Okay, which means you are trying to move the cursor. Okay, now we finished dot value. Now
Hello.
Hello.
Sorry guys, so I just lost the here. The climate is not good. So just take break for 10 minutes. We'll come back. So we'll start the session at 11:30.
Hello guys, can anyone listen? Hello?
Yes,
Am I audible?
yes, Manav. So you
Ma'am,
want to talk
actually,
to other guys? Okay, fine.
hello.
Yes, Ma, now we are audible.
Yeah, from previous session from yesterday. Did you guys check the video? I think they uploaded the wrong video.
Oh, I haven't checked. Let me check it now.
Uh,
It's 5th July, right? 1 second.
Yes, the title is 5th July,
yeah,
but they uploaded wrong video.
yeah, the wrong video. It's about coding, someone else explaining.
Maybe we can post it in the WhatsApp group. They'll change it.
Hello.
Yes.
Any WhatsApp group for this batch, guys?
Yes, there is.
So how to add in that group?
Ask your counselor.
Counselor.
I think we do have option to add. It says add member in the group. Is it mandatory that counselor has to add?
Let me check.
Yes, we can add.
Then add my number, please.
Can you
Say
tell
your
me?
number.
62
62
00
00
44
44
27
27
95.
95. Okay, give me a minute. Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Just check. I have sent you the invitation. It's not directly adding in the group.
He's added.
Yeah, I joined.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Start. So I was talking about this movement, okay? So we want to move this cursor from left, right, up and down. Okay, so once we learn this movement, then we can automate our projects. So dot value we know, now it's dot offset. Okay, so when you see dot offset, it means you're trying to move your cursor. So when you use dot offset, automatically you will be asked two arguments, row, comma, column. So it's like how many rows I want to move and how many columns I want to move. Okay, so dot offset, and then when you open row, comma, column. So for the right movement, okay, so let's say your cursor is here and you're trying to move right hand side. So if you see carefully what exactly you're moving related to row and column. So I'm just making a right movement. So what I'm exactly moving from, like from what to what? Am I moving the row, like I'm standing in the same row, but only column, so only column movement. If you see D to E, E to F, okay, so in this case, for the right hand side, if you want to move your cursor right hand side, then the coordinate would be 0. I'm not moving any row, standing in only one single row, but column, you can take 3 jumps, 2 jumps, or 1 jump. Okay, for right hand side, you have to move. When you're moving this right hand side, you see you're standing in the 4th row only, but only jumping from one column to another column. Okay, similarly for left hand side, just the opposite, 0, comma, -1. Okay, first let's try this in the coding. Okay, then we'll see the no movement. Okay, got the point. Why it is 0? Because there is no movement in related with the row. Only column I'm jumping from one column to another column. So that is what we call it as a right movement. So let's write. Here I'm going to take active cell. I'll let you know why it is an active cell. So I'm just going to simply give active cell dot offset. Okay. So when you use offset, you definitely should give this row offset, column offset. So let's say 0, comma 1 dot, after moving, then select the particular place. Okay, dot selects, just the new one, because after moving, select the place. So let's run this code. Can you see the movement? Okay, similarly for the left. So left movement, you have to give -1. So just you are moving opposite direction. Okay, so after this point, you will get this error. It's not an error. There is no place. Okay, so right and left. First try this code. Okay, so right and left. Now up and down. So again, the same concept. When you're moving, let's say down is the frequent movement. So when we do down movement, we all stand in the same F column only, but only we are accessing via row. Okay, so we are just making row movement. So for the down, it will be, now there is row. Okay, we are jumping row. So 2 rows you can jump, but standing in the same column. Okay, that's why column is 0. So for the up, it is opposite. 0, minus 1. Sorry. Minus 1, 0. 2 is representing 2 jumps. So active cell dot value, dot offset. And I'm trying to move 2 jumps this time. And 0 column. Dot select. Okay. Okay, so now we'll try to develop one project. Okay, just for this project, you only need to understand 3 methods. Dot value, okay, in order to access the value, you want to, paste one value, okay, dot value, A1, B1. Okay, one more thing, why I'm not using range here, okay? What happens if you use range? You still get the movement, but let's say for an example here, why we can use range, but let's say I'm trying to use range here instead of active cell. So let's say I want to move from B to C. So range B1 dot offset, and then you select it. Okay, so let's try it. Okay, it has selected, and you will not see that continuous movement. Okay, because see, once it's done because you move from B1 to C1. But why, like, are you guys getting the idea, like why it is having this continuous movement and why it's not with range?
And because we have selected particular range like B1.
Okay. What is happening behind this active cell? I can see continuous movement. Like the logic behind it.
Only one range is selected. That's why.
That is fine. This range is, I got it. Like I know that you guys also got it, because from B to C it's done. Okay, there is no other movement. I got that point. But why for the active cell? Why? What is the exact reason? Like the one simple logic, why it is moving continuously?
Ma'am, because it's continuously changing its current cursor. That's why.
Yeah. So every time you see, that is an active cell. So when you run, it is moving one side. And again, every time the active cell itself, it is like every time it is accessing the active cell. Okay, so it's like it is taking the current active cell and working. So that is one advantage when you try to develop the project. So you will get to know like when to use active cell, when to use range. Okay, when there is a fixed movement, you can't use active cell, but you have to use the continuous, you need to access the continuous movement. At the time we can't use range, you need to use active cell only, so that you will keep on continuously, it will work. Because every time you select something, that is an active cell for the system. Okay, now going back to our project, we only need to understand three methods. One is value, one is dot offset movement, one is dot select. Okay, once you move, you select the place. Rest all same thing, dot paste, dot paste special. So you will all see one by maybe in other future projects. Okay. So first you need to understand, in this project, we will only use dot value, dot offset, dot select. So then let's say for an example, I have to print my name, age, and my salary. Okay. So let's say like this. And I have to keep printing for many other users, like another one more user. So I have to print for 10 names. Okay, this is my project. It has to do everything automatically. Okay, so from the headers to again printing for 10 lines, it has to be an automatic process. Okay, so let's try. So this is what your assignment for this week. Okay. So I will divide this project into two parts. One part, I will print the headers. Another part, I will develop something with offset so I can print the user details. Okay, part one. This is part one and rest all part two. So part one is very simple. I have to print my headers at A1, B1, C1. What do you guys think the codes would be? I just have to print name, age, salary. What are the codes?
I mean, you can add with the range value.
Yeah, so you don't need any variables here because these are just header names. You are printing one values. So range A1 dot value equals to name. It's not a variable, it's a character. So I'm using double quote. Okay, just printing. Okay. So next part, we are going to print their name, age, and salary, whatever the user is inputting. Okay, so you're going to capture from the user and input into your sheet. Okay, so for here, the variable is coming into picture because it's just not one name. Some 10 names we are going to capture. So Tim, name as what? So what will, yeah,
String.
string. Okay, because it's not a number. Number only you have to take as integer. Name is a character. So declare this as a string. Then dim age as integer. Salary as again, if you want a big salary, declare this as long. Otherwise, just go for integer, small numbers. So first listen, then you guys copy other later on. Okay. Why I have used these kind of variables? Because I will capture 10 names. So commonly I'm giving name. So name equals to input box. So asking from the user, enter your name. Okay, this is from the user. From the user, you're going to capture the value. Then similarly, age also, we are going to capture from user. Okay, so let's test this. So even when you're trying also, do not just fully, you don't do it. First you do these 3 lines, test it. It should not give any error. So write your name, your age, and your salary. Until this part, there should not be any error. That's how we should code. Even in Python also, you don't code everything and then later on search for the errors. Okay, so okay, now I did not get any error. So now it's fine. Go further then. Okay, now I have captured my name, my age, and salary. Okay, so it is now in the memory. I have to print at this place. For the sake of simplicity, beforehand, I'll keep my cursor at A2. Okay, consider this as an active cell. First of all, we have a small procedure to set this as an active cell, but for now, leave that part. For the simplicity purpose, I keep my cursor here, starting part, and take this as an active cell. So first code I will tell, then rest other codes you guys should tell me. So active cell dot value. I am trying to print my name. First, let's test this part. So annoying, but still this is how we should work. Okay, printed. It is there. Now the age. So if you see, where is my active cell? I have not moved my active cell. It's still in the same place. So considering that as an active cell, I printed my name. So how will I print age?
Ma'am, subwrite
Okay. What is the code?
offset. Basically, yeah, active cell dot offset.
Active cell dot
Offset.
offset. Okay.
Bracket start 0, 1.
0, 1.
0, 1.
1. Yeah.
Dot
Okay.
select.
Dot
Okay, here
select.
is a small change. I'm not going to select. You can select, although if you are developing, you can select it. But what I'm going to do, I will put only the value part. Okay, let's see how this works. So here I'm just going to paste the value called age. Okay, so let's test again. Okay, it has printed, but see, I did not select it. I've only accessed the cell and printed my age. So now for my salary, what is the coordinate? What could be the coordinate? Because I have not moved, I'm standing in the same place, but I have to access the salary cell and print it.
Ma'am, active cell dot
Cell
offset
offset.
0, comma 2.
Yes, active cell dot offset, because you are moving 2 jumps, same row 2 jump. So hence 0 comma 2, and its value I'm still not moving. Paste your salary. Okay, so up to this part it's fine, but just one small thing is pending. Okay, you have accessed and you printed it. But now let's say user number 2 wants to print his details. What will happen?
Active cell offset 0 minus 1. Down.
Yeah, correct. You're correct. But what will happen, like user, if suppose if there is an user I'm trying to print again, what will happen? First think in that way.
Active cell value equal
No,
to
I'm
name.
not asking the answer. It's fine the answer. But now if the user, second user is trying to print, what will happen to the existing program?
It will
Will
override.
change.
It will override. Okay, so now think the next step you think. So now I'm standing at A1. So I'm supposed to stand here so that I'll take the another name. So just one code that makes so much difference. So I'm here, how will I move down? Same thing only what Priya was telling. Come again, Priya, only the coordinate was different. It was
Sub
little
down.
wrong.
Active cell offset 0 down.
What is down?
Active cell
One,
offset 0 minus 2.
Think one
one,
more time.
1, comma 0.
1, because you are just, see here itself, row, comma, column. I want to move just one row, but in the same column. 1, comma, 0. And after that,
Dot
after
value
moving,
equal to name.
no. Just one small thing. After moving, what should I do? So that I'll be ready for the next.
Select.
Up, down, ma'am.
Correct.
Down.
Not select.
Okay.
There is no down here. So just have to select, which means like it will come down and stand in that place. So it will be ready for the next user. Okay, so let's try one last time. Okay, now again let's try for the second user. It will keep working. See again next line. So this is how we will start developing the code and we will develop the projects. Okay, any doubt, let me know. But what I did, like line by line, you have to test and code.
Vandana,
Yes.
I'm only getting like uh, salary and age. It is not showing a name.
Okay. Maybe problem with the coordinates. Share your screen.
Yeah.
Okay, dot value is missing. Offset dot value.
In all the
The
three.
salary part. For the salary, the dot value is missing.
So it's
Active
active
cell dot
cell.
offset. Then you have to use, no, not there. Check the age one. So you see that dot value. That is missing.
0,2.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Correct. No.
Okay, now I think it's
And also 0,2. It's not 0.2.
Yeah.
okay.
Got it.
Okay, fine. Okay, there is one assignment, but don't do that assignment. It's very simple. So I'll give one more assignment for you guys for this week. But let me know once done.
So when should we enter like dot value and dot select?
So
What is
when
the
you
difference?
want to, yeah, when you want to select it, so if you see the last line, we are not doing anything. We are just coming down and getting ready for the next line. But when you want to access the cell and you want to paste your salary, right? So at the time you have to use dot value. So dot offset is only for moving. You moved it, but you did not paste the value. So if you want to paste it, you want to use dot value.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So for the assignment, okay, just first listen for the assignment. So your assignment, again, you can do it two part or you can even create one single macro. It is up to you guys. So this is your header. So print your headers and down below, this is how it has to be. Okay, E line. And tax amount is constant. It is always 0. Let's say 1% out of 200. Okay, see 10%. So 0.01. This is always constant, even from you don't need to get the user input. So get the name from the user, get their salary from the user, and tax is always constant 0.01. Got the point? What I meant by user, input box. You have to use input box so that you will get the user input. So this is input box. Get two details, only two details from the user. Rest all you only should print. So let's say for an example, user has inputted 1000. The tax is constant. You have to show it as 0.01 in the sheet. And tax amount equals to 1000 into C, B into C. And salary after tax is B minus D. So this is how you have to print. Okay, so your single macro should get from the user and print this. I know it's just maybe I'm giving too much, but check your internet. Try to, that's how we learn coding. Okay, we learn coding with your internet only. We can't learn everything, because whenever we encounter some things, then check in the internet how to move from here, how to paste it. Try in internet, try to get the code and then paste it. Okay, so these two only user. You have to get these two from the user, and rest all you have to calculate. So range C dot value equals to range D dot value equals to range E dot value equals to. Okay, so you have to calculate all these ones and prepare a program where it could take several inputs. Any doubt? Okay, when you are sending the assignment, just send the screenshot alone. Don't send the sheet, because I cannot open and go to your VBA, and it's a just painful job to do. So just send me the screenshot of your program. At least try. Even if it is wrong, it's still okay, because programming, I know it's fine. Okay, just do whatever it comes to your mind and then send it. I won't scold for the programming. Okay. So note it down. So practice is very, very necessary, okay, when it comes to programming, even Python. And see, rest all modules, only Excel is the easiest module that you will see. Rest all difficult. You have to give your time and practice. So I'm going to send the sheet. Okay, so here I've pasted few codings where you can practice at home. And right now we will try few more codings, and we will leave. Okay, I'll not give too much inputs because it's very confusing. So see, I pasted everything. The sample project. Rest all you don't need. Up to this part you practice. We'll see later in the class.
What is headers in the sheet?
What is it? What is it?
Headers.
Headers, like this is like a part one where we can print your headers, just like we did now.
Okay.
So you print your headers. Okay, you can print your headers anything, but A, B, C, D, E. So get the user name, user salary, and demonstrate your calculation in this C, D, E. This is constant, okay, constant 0.01. There is no change at C. Okay, constant for every user, C has to be printed as 0.01. And based on their salary, your tax should be printed. And after printing tax amount, your salary will be salary minus tax amount, your after tax. So just refer whatever we did now. Okay, so answer is the same project, only little bit of calculation included. Otherwise, the same You don't need no extra techniques. Dot value, dot offset, dot select only. Just a little bit of calculation. Okay, any doubt up to this part? Okay, now we'll learn one small concept and then we can close the class because programming, we have to take it little slow. So all we know that, so far we know that at A1, we can print the statement. So what is it? Range A1 dot value equals to print. But let's say I want to repeat the same action 100 times. Okay, that's where we are trying to use here this, this type of like you're trying to print, keep it down and you're trying to print. But there is one more very efficient method. We call it as iteration. Very important concept in your programming language. Once you know this concept, then you can code in any programming language. You at least you get some idea when you see the code. Okay, otherwise we call this as looping. What is looping or iteration? A single job or single block of code, you are trying to do it for 10 times without any manual intervention. You don't need to give A2, A3, A4. You are just trying to print or you are trying to do the same job 10 times. Okay, so we'll see that. Just the last concept. Okay, so let's start. We know that A1, we call it as range. Okay, so now I'm going to say one more small thing about A1. We can call this with the numbers also. Cells 1, comma 1. Okay, both has the same meaning. Okay, range A1 dot value equals to print cells 1, comma 1. What is 1, comma 1? First row, first column. First row, second column. 1, comma 2. Okay, so first let's learn the cell thing properly, then we'll see the loop. So we know that range A1 dot value equals to print. Okay, so if you see, no, it is going to print. But we can also write the same code with a number. Cells 1, comma 1 dot value equals to print. So let's see. Okay, both has the same meaning. Okay. For this looping, I'm going to use range cells. That's why. Because it's easy. We can use with range, but I'll use with cell. Okay, so let's start. So first, you just have to tell the system how many times you want to repeat the action. So for x equals to, I want to repeat from 1 to 10. So what is 1 to 10? I want to start from row number 1 to row number 10. So you're telling beforehand that you want to print from A1 to A10. Because x is an integer, dim x as an integer. Okay, so just listen here. It's very simple concept. So cells, we know that 1 comma 1 dot value equals to print. It will print at A1. But I want to loop this up to A10. Okay, so here instead of 1, I'm going to remove this 1 and replace the x. So now what will happen? As we know, x equals to 1 to 10. So here the x will loop up to 10. 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1. So you see 1 comma 1, 2 comma 1, 3 comma 1. So it will take up to the end value 10 comma 1. Okay. So in order to loop it, we are just having the closing statement for loop x. So what does this mean? Sorry, next x. What does this mean? Because x has to go back and take the second value. Again, come down. Then go back and take. So let's say it starts with 1. Next x. Go back. Take 2. Come down. Go back. Up to 10, it will keep on looping inside. And then once there is an end, because there is nothing to take more, it will end the sub. Okay, that is how your Python or any programming language will work. Line by line. Okay, it will not work at once. So it will take line by line. So first it will take one value, come down, go up, second value, come down. So let's see how it's printing. See, it has printed. But we just gave one block of code. But we looped it for 10 times. So any doubt, let me know. It's an important concept. Okay, so if you want to print for 50 lines, then you have to give 50. It will print for 50.
Vandana, I have one question.
Yes.
What if we want this as horizontal instead of vertical?
Okay, we can do that. We can do that. But we'll see. But you just have to give here 1 and here you have to replace because you want to give 1 comma 1. Then what is this? 1 comma 2. So you have to keep 1 here and x here. Try it.
Sure.
Then those who have finished, try for x comma x and let me know what is the result of x comma x.
Yeah, it worked.
It worked, right? Because you're just giving, just have to change x wherever you want to loop according to the number of the cell.
It's giving diagonally.
Yes, ma'am.
Diagonally, right? So let's say I want to print for A and B. X comma X will not work because I want to print for A and B, but X comma X is not working. So we need to use one more technique. So that is, I'm going to use one more for loop. So let's call it like a double looping. So since I want to introduce now my column also in this program, so let's say I will use X for row and Y for my column. So how many rows? Like I'll take a different. So I want to print 10 rows. So for loop, we call this as for loop. Even Python also for loop only. For loop X equals to 1 to 10. 10 rows, 2 columns. For Y equals to 1 to 2. So remember 1 means starting point 1 and 1 to 2 A to B. Okay, let's write the same thing cells. For row, I'll use X and for column, I'll use Y. Dot value equals to print. So here the small thing, we just have to remember anything we start in a programming language, we have to close it. Like how we did. For loop, we closed with the next text. Here also same thing, but programming language expects you to close the inner loop first. So next Y and then the outer loop. Next X. Basically go by the anti-clockwise or opposite direction. X, Y, Y, X. Otherwise it will not work. So anything you have to close it inner loop and then the outer loop. Those who have finished, now just try one challenge. I want you guys to print it like this. Okay, your code should print in this exact same spot. How to start, how to end. That is where your program, this part is involving. Okay, so see and go. Yes, Asif, it's correct. So third, yes, it's correct.
Vandana, one question. So
Yes.
I just want to understand the logic behind, like, how is it selecting column A and B itself when we run the macro?
So yeah, that is one complicated part it is doing behind the screen. Okay, so first it will take one and one value from here. So let's imagine in this way. So let's 1 comma 1. Then keep the 1 as it is and it will finish the inner loop first. So keeping the outer loop, let's say here one value, it picked one value from your outer loop and finish the inner loop first, then go for the second value. So 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, like that. 3 comma 1, 3 comma 2. So it will finish somehow. It's like, so somehow it will finish the entire loop. Basically, it will finish the inner loop maximum and then it will finish the outer loop. Both combining.
Okay, but how is it printing on column A, B itself? Why not on C, D, or D? Like, what is the?
That is the, oh, that's the logic you're asking. So that's the one coordinates, right? So 1 to 2, which means first column to second column. 1 to 10, which means first column, first row to 10th row. So if you want B, C, D, then you increase here. So let's say if you give 4, then it will take from A to D. This is the one you're asking?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So here try to see. That's why I'm asking you guys to print C to D. So how will you take C to D, that number? So Asif Jan has sent the answer. So it is all about the coordinates only. So starting point 3 to 12. So start from 3 and end with 12. Row number. Then starting point C to D. 3 to 4. Then it will print in that same place. Okay, so take your time and understand. So up to this part, we will stop the class. And next class, we will introduce if statement inside and we will try to print nested condition. Next class is little difficult. So you guys practice up to this part. Okay, especially the looping part. And try to understand as you guys, if you have any doubt, change the coordinates and see how it is printing. And decide some coordinates. Within yourself, like you guys decide, like I want to print from here to here. How should I print from F to I? So find out the coordinates. Then you will get the simple logic only. You will get it.
Vandana, one question. Let's
Okay.
say here we are giving the fixed values like 3 to 12 or 3 to 4, something we are giving. But what if we don't know what is the range of that value? In that case, how do we
Okay.
do it?
Yeah. So for that, we have to use while loop, because we don't know the ending part. We know only the starting point. So we'll see in the next class. So let's say for an example, you are trying to print up to, maybe let's say you try up to the value. You want to do the calculation up to this value, then stop it. So we have to use another loop called while. So it'll keep continuing until you fixed some different kind of endpoint. We'll see. I know I got the question, but
Hmm.
we'll see in the next class. It's little different way of understanding, but we'll see. While loop.
Got it, got it. And
Vandana,
Yes.
I'm getting an error when I
Okay.
run
Okay. Okay.
on
Share
this.
your screen. Any other doubt to this part?
Let's see.
Okay. Why X? So run it. We'll see the.
Yeah, this error.
Oh, that is because the name of the program. So just give double loop number 1.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, again, you've taken the name. Give 1 and then enter. Give a different name, but name is the issue.
Should I change it? Change the double loop name?
Yeah, you can change. Change the name and see. Just give project 2 or something.
Now run.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it. Yeah.
Okay, guys. So then practice this. Okay. And understand well. Any other doubt?
This assignment also, like, are we going to send it through that data IMS?
Yes, correct.
IMS? Okay.
Same thing. Just have to paste the screenshot. Okay, send
Yeah,
it.
sure.
Okay. Any other doubt? Okay, guys. Then see you guys next week.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.